So today I'm with James Hope, the purchasing manager for Lightning Fibre. First off, James, can you give me a bit of background about Lightning Fibre and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're an internet service provider based in Eastbourne, East Sussex, and we're rolling out our own full fibre network to the southeast. Being a locally based broadband supplier, it only gives us added value to our customer service, but it also benefits the local economy from going with us.
Okay, perfect. And why did you sign up to Unleashed in the first place? What made you start looking?
So I joined the business last year, and we were using Excel to track our multi-million pound inventory, and
Never
and
good.
yeah, and all of the stock issues that we issue out to our civils contractors and our internal teams. So we're using Excel for everything, and whilst it supported us in the early days, as we've successfully scaled, so did the amount of parts that we had to keep track of, and there was always pressure to reorder parts without visibility, and we were getting caught out left, right, and centre with stock outs, and obviously I spotted an opportunity straight away to implement an ERP software, both encompassing purchasing and warehouse functions, and just trying to keep it fully perpetual, lifetime, real-time system that also supports an API integration into our accounting software Xero.
Okay.
So thankfully for us, Unleashed did all of that. So it was, it ticked the boxes left, right, and centre.
Perfect. Yeah, I can imagine Excel was a bit of a nightmare. It always works well in the early days, but then obviously it's prone to a lot of human error.
Absolutely.
So we do have a lot of customers that move to us from Excel and see the benefits.
Yeah.
Were you nervous about implementing a new software, and how did the rest of the team feel about it?
I was nervous for the team as well. Obviously, it was my first time bringing any kind of software into business, and obviously I know what the disruptions it can bring, and there's always teething issues and sometimes not being quite ready to switch. But after I started speaking to Unleash and then obviously met Riley in the onboarding process, my confidence, went completely up, and having that full support throughout just meant that we had a real good feel for the system, and from day one when we launched, we'd already tried the demo account and we were sort of experimenting to see how things work for us, so it was quite a smooth changeover from day one because of all the work that was put in from Riley and the team before that.
Perfect. Yeah, it's always a scary thought, isn't it? I think like training the team and switching everything over, there's always a lot to do. Absolutely. But having that support to get you through it is obviously really beneficial.
Absolutely.
You opted for Flight Path B, which is our more expensive model and gives you a bit more support. Was there a reason you went for that option?
I think with knowing what we know now, having the one-to-one support was invaluable to us, really. It was so much more tailored to our business, and going through all of our kind of questions with Riley about how we would use the system, and having an expert there just to sort of say, yeah, you could try this, you could try that, whatever works, and helping us through that every step. Just that was the exact reason why we chose it.
Perfect. And then you had your first session, obviously, with Riley. How did that go? How did you find the first session?
Yeah, it was brilliant, actually. You never know what to expect with these things. So, it was very much like, let's just start from the ground up. And Riley sort of, walked us through every step of the way. So, we didn't feel overwhelmed by how much there was to kind of do at the start. It was just very systematic, and it was put together in the right way. So we were building steps up to go to our live date.
Perfect. Yeah, I think obviously that first session is really important for one, filling you with a bit of confidence and making sure everyone knows what they're doing and what the plan is. But two, coming up with that project plan and making sure that you know exactly what you've got to do to hit that go live date.
Really, yeah.
And then obviously you had your following sessions with Riley. Did those all go well? What was
absolutely, yeah. So we weren't pressured to book in, all the time. It was just kind of like, just see how we're going on. and what steps we need to make. Obviously, we were trial and error along the way, so we were sort of going through each step and giving it a go, and then ready to kind of build the system up from there. So it was really easy to put calls in with Riley, and just a bit of an agenda of what we're kind of focusing on next. So again, it was just little bits at a time, which really contributed to why it went so well from the start.
Yeah, I think we always find that, breaking it down into smaller bits is always better, because otherwise you're just faced with loads of big tasks and it's easier just to put those off. Whereas if you just give little bits of homework, it's a bit easier to complete, and you kind of get through it, and then you realize you've done a massive chunk without even realizing that you've done so much work. Was there any standout bits of the flight path? So anything that you thought was really exceptional?
I think just overall, it was just brilliant from start to finish. I think without having any of it, we'd still be here today scratching our heads and wondering how we're going to get it live. So having Riley, who is an absolute genius on Unleashed, he just helped us with every step of the way.
Yeah, he's very smart, very intelligent, and knows his way around the software. Even now, if I'm struggling, I'm like, Riley, can you help me, please? And he's always there. He's definitely got a good Unleashed head. Is there anything else you want to add about the onboarding experience?
I'll just say, thank you ever so much to Riley. He was brilliant, real pleasure to deal with. And I'd really recommend going down the flight path B. I think it's the only option for starting out with a new software.
Perfect. So now you're live and using Unleashed, and you have been for around 5 months, I think it is.
Yeah.
Does it live up to your expectations? Is it ticking all your boxes? How's it been going?
Yeah, so we went live at the beginning of September, and it really made an impact straight away with myself and our warehouse team. From a purchasing aspect, I can run a reorder report every day and capture all the products that have dropped below our minimum levels that we've set. And I can see when those products are due, and all the up-to-date pricing and lead time information, it's all there. Monthly reporting is so much easier, enables me to populate all of our KPIs and then report that back to the business. Whereas before we were having to sort of search across multiple programs, Excel, accounts, all of that. And, having it all in-house, it really kind of keeps it short and sweet. So in terms of value, it really does pay for itself.
Perfect. Much better than Excel then.
Just a bit, yeah.
Good. That's what we like to hear. And since you've been live, obviously, unfortunately, Riley couldn't support you all the way. He's in my team, so focuses on the onboarding. But how have you found the ongoing support from our experienced team?
Yeah, it has been really good. Obviously, we don't need it so much now. Now we're up and running, but there have been some things that we're not 100% sure on. And there's, that's kind of initial things that you just want to sort of tweak and, tidy up. Really easy just to kind of go onto the online support and just, ask away. And usually there's a question, questions answered straight away, and you can just go get on with your day. It's really nice and sweet and short and sweet.
Perfect. Yeah, I think people are usually a bit hesitant about their onboarding finishing, because you build that relationship, don't you? And that person can answer your questions. But I think for us, it's really nice to be able to pass them over, and actually then they continue to get really good support. So it's nice to have that transition.
Absolutely.
Final question for you. What would you say to any other businesses that were maybe looking at Unleashed but on the fence because they were scared to implement? What would you say to them?
I would just say absolutely go for it. Because I think the sooner you do, the sooner you realise the benefits that it brings. If you're suffering with operation inefficiencies or supply chain problems, then I'd say this is what you need. Obviously, just make sure that you have a clear picture of what you want out of the system, because it's very important to sort of build it tailored to your business. Once you've done that and Unleash know how you're trying to build your system, they'll just go above and beyond to help make sure you're equipped, and then you can roll that out to your business. So it's very much get an idea of what you need, and then I think Unleashed are very good at knowing how to tailor that to your business.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for spending the time today and taking out the time to talk to me.
Right,
And I hope the rest of your Unleashed journey goes as smoothly as it began.
it's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thanks, James.
Thanks,
Great
Amber.
to talk.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.